I am going to talk about the energy efficiency paradox. And we are trying to explore in these 10 minutes the energy efficiency barriers. So I explore this study with the collaboration, thanks to the collaboration of Elena González Sánchez from ANESE. This is the Spanish Association of Energy Service Companies. So the outline is the similar outline for all the papers in this conference. Thank you very much for making us to concentrate our effort in 2 pages and in 10 minutes. So in this way we can start to concrete something that at the beginning is abstract. So this is the general research question. Which are the suboptimal energy efficiency investment reasons? This is not new. So this is the general questions in the worldwide for study this topic. This topic tries to study the barriers, the stakeholders in the energy chain value, and the policies with a system perspective. So we try to identify the barriers which inhibit the adoption of cleaner equipment and manufacturing experiments. We are in the line of efficiency paradox of Di Canio. Thank you. So we try to explore why we see some empirical anomaly in the economics of energy efficiency. This is the question, the problem. There are empirical evidence of barriers to the adoption of energy efficient technology that has been widely reported in the literature. We can find some examples and evidence in China, in Germany, in Sweden. So we want to test here to check in Spain. So this is our approach. I have said from the beginning, the system thinking perspective. In the earlier study, they focus on the market failures, specific on the imperfect market and the information problems. So we are going to start from this point of view, from the information problems to understand the energy efficiency gap. So nowadays, what the studies said, the recent studies try to conduct interviews and surveys and to perform case studies to identify these barriers in the industrial sector. If we read this study, which are the problems, they identify that there is a lack of confidence in governmental sponsored energy audit. So in different countries, for example, specifically in Sweden, they find high trust in information and energy strategies sponsored by associations and colleges. So if we review the literature about energy efficiency barriers, we have the economic theory, the behavioral, and the organizational. So we start from the imperfect information. We try to review all the principal agent relationship, the relationship in the energy chain value. We try to review which factors are more important, the bounded rationality, the inertia, the trust on the information, the values and the attitude, the environmental attitude that we have seen and we have heard in this conference today, and also the culture, the power, and the employees' training. So this is the literature. So we are following in this study is first to review what are the energy service companies, what are they doing in Spain. So we review some pilot case studies, we make some interviews, thanks to Elena González. And with these interviews, we try to define a questionnaire and to test with the energy service companies, empresas de servicios energéticos in Spanish. Okay. This is, you can find the web page. So this is the company, this is the association with different activities, consulting, audit, financial service, engineering, installation, and equipment. So we focus in 50 companies, not in the whole 100 companies that are now in the association. This association is merging with another associations, okay, to increase the interest and the lobby aspect and all the contribution that can make in Spain. So we focus in these pilot cases, in these studies, in the installation and engineering companies in these associations. These are the companies that are in the association. And if you remember, we have seen this slide yesterday at the conference, at the opening conference. So if we review the energy efficiency Repsol index, we see that there are different sectors: transport, industry, residential, service, and the transformation of the energy. So these are the different, we demand energy for these sectors, and we have the energy that we use in this transformation, that is used for the transformation of energy for every sector. So this is the data for this year with the low scenario, the normal, and the optimistic. So this is the data, also the same way of thinking we have seen yesterday. To understand the demand, we see the energetic mix in Spain. So this is the demand for transport, industry, and residential and service. And here we have the loss for the transformation that we have heard yesterday. For the efficiency in the transformation, for example, Repsol is interested and is doing. But there are another loss that we can find in these sectors. But the moment is very difficult. If you have seen the last World Energy Outlook reform that was launched 2 days ago, the perspectives are not very optimistic. They said that the transitions to a more efficient energy sector is more difficult in thought times, but not less urgent. It's very difficult in this moment. You can find the World Energy Outlook report in the web. So, in this conference, and this is the limitations of my presentation, this try to be very ambitious. So this is the project I am following in collaboration with ANESE. So this is a live project in this moment we are doing. We try to check the interaction among the barriers according to the barriers identified in previous studies. So we start from the information problems, the classical point of view in the economic theory, and we see the interaction between different stakeholders to check the barriers and the policies. What happened? Our point of view, as I am presented here, the point of view is of the ESCOs, the energy service companies. They want to serve this market we have seen in Spain. So they are interested in understand very good and better these problems, to improve the service and to make money, of course, both to improve the energy value chains in Spain. So about the policies, we have the directive. Thank you. And this is the directive that make possible the ANESE association in 2009, and the last policy that was not voted, but that Spain doesn't vote last year. Okay, this was not voted by the government, the Spanish government. So the perspective is not so very good. So if we want to understand, this is our question, our first question, the barriers, and we focus at the energy performance, we focus in the information problems. We try to understand the compromise they are making with the client. So we try to see the energy performance contracts and how is assumed the investment and the risk, and how is shared this, and how the savings are shared. This is the question. So this is the way they make the contracts. We have the years, and we have the cost, the classical way of thinking in economy. So at the beginning, the client has an energetic cost and the cost for the corrective maintenance and the preventive maintenance. So if they take the project, they can reduce the energetic cost, and they have to pay a payment fee to the energy service company. There are some savings for the client, and it's reduced the preventive maintenance and the corrective maintenance. And after some years, it depends on the project and in the contract, this is the payment of the client, and this is the savings, the final savings. Okay? So this is the way they are dealing these transactions in the sector. So as a result, we try to see how is this information. So they gave information about the technology, about the control measure. They tried to measure the savings. This is the problem. It was not observed, but it can be measured. They need to put this information, the contracts. So this is the energy performance contracting, and to give information about the possible financial source. So the employees should be very good trained. So they need training about technical business plan for the client and the contract management. It is very important that the client trusts in the companies for the future. The energy service companies guarantees the sharings. So the limitation was that the project is still on. You can see the different case studies. You can see Alcázar de Toledo, you can see Salobres village, you can see some hospitals in Spain. There are 15. So if you want, it's very interesting to see the savings and the money they save. Okay? Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and if you have any questions.